Well, it's not having fun.
Welcome back to episode 4 of cycling the entire length of New Zealand. My journey started in Wellington where, after a rest day, I caught the 8:45 AM inter-islander ferry across the Cook Strait to Picton. I was blessed with calm waters and clear skies. I decided to keep the first day's riding quite manageable, only planning to cover around 35 miles, heading west along the coast towards Havelock, where I had mussels and chips for lunch. At the end of the day, I camped at a dock site at Pellerus Bridge. There was a big crew of us by that point. Finn and I had crossed paths again with a chap called Chris, who I first met in Whanganui. I also met Alex from Hamburg in Germany, and George, who was an astrophysicist from the UK. George provided a lot of the content for the South Island for me to use, so big shout out if you're watching this.
It looks so harmless from here, doesn't it? How far have we got to go?
Harmless, you reckon? Oh, what, 10k of pain and then
Yeah.
30?
What's the height gain that it says ahead?
I think it's about 600 metres, 500 metres.
Easy.
Yeah.
Right? At least it's pretty down here, eh?
This supposedly easy, harmless climb that George just mentioned was called the Manga Tapu Saddle Road. This is a Category 1 climb, which is 4.5 miles long with an average gradient of 9%, which translates to about 2,000 feet in vertical elevation gain. It took me just under 3 hours to hike and bike up there. It was by far the hardest climb of the Tour Aotearoa for me. My Genesis bike had 2 larger gears and 2 thinner tyres, unfortunately. I reckon I only cycled 10% of the second half.
Well, it's not having fun.
So I'm just hiking my way up the Manga Tapu Saddle Road, and by hiking I literally mean hiking. I'm walking, pushing my bike. It's very rocky, very steep, very loose. Yeah, nearly stacked it earlier. Nearly fell into the drainage ditch on the side of the road. The others are way ahead of me, I think.
Machine over there. He just loves pushing his bike.
After we descended off the Manga Tapu Saddle Road, we cruised into Nelson. Even after only 25 miles or so, my legs were absolutely cooked. Luckily the others were up for getting a burger and chips at a local craft beer place. We then headed to Tahuna Beach Holiday Park on the coast and spent the night there. The next day marked the start of the Great Taste Trail, from Nelson, where we passed lots of vineyards and orchards, through towns like Wakefield and Tapu Aotearoa. We also passed through a lot of historic railway tunnels that had been repurposed. We rode mostly on sealed roads or compacted gravel, which made the miles tick by a lot faster than the previous day's riding.
Oh, back into the world.
We rolled into the dock campsite at Lake Rotorua just before dark. Dinner that night was very limited, only black lentil dal on the stove for me. I also went for a quick dip in the lake. As I was relaxing in the water, a fish nipped my wrist. I nearly browned myself. I think Chris was even more startled than me though. There must be some sort of correlation between the natural beauty of a campsite and the proximity of beasties. I got out of my tent to an unprecedented amount of sandflies and bees, which to my ignorance were really attracted to the colour blue. I packed away as quickly as I could before heading towards Murchison. After getting a good feed there, we hit the Maruia saddle route, 50 k's of lumpy gravel roads. There was a climb halfway along which meandered through forest with stream crossings every 3 kilometres. The last 10 to 15 kilometres of the day were on sealed roads, which was a blessing. We cruised into Maruia just before dark, and we camped in the local school's playing fields. Permission was given, of course. We rolled out of camp at about 9 AM. Weather was pretty good, slightly overcast, and there was limited traffic on the road with it being a Sunday. Finn and I said goodbye to George in Reefton, who was heading up the big river, a rough trail that reaches some of the old ghost towns harking back to New Zealand's gold rush of the 19th century. We got into Greymouth just before 8 PM. I had steak, mushroom, potatoes and broccoli for tea that evening. The broccoli in particular was the most delicious thing on my plate. I must have been getting deficient in something. We stayed in the backpackers for the night. The West Coast Wilderness Trail beckoned.